Hey, what's happening YouTube? It's been a little bit, but this is Brian with Renegade Trucking coming to you, and this is my video before orientation for Freymiller Trucking. Now, right now, I'll get into this in a little bit. I'm still in Pennsylvania, which I just got done seeing my family. I had some stuff I needed to handle up here, and there's an ice storm tomorrow, so I'm down here at the airport. I just booked a hotel at the airport so that I didn't have to worry about missing the flight because of not being able to get there or anything. So I'm staying in here at a nice hotel outside the airport. But let me fill you in on everything that was going on with Freymiller leading up to the orientation. So I initially applied and started working with them. If you watch my videos, this was about, I guess, 5 weeks ago or so. And the way that they work everything is they don't really start anything until the week prior to your orientation date. So I was targeting a January 10th orientation date, and on January 3rd was when we started everything. So I contacted I contacted my recruiter at that point in time and spoke with them and let them know that I was still, interested and wanted to move forward. So they were like, okay, great. We'll get you on the list for a trainer when it comes out on Wednesday. It always comes out on a Wednesday. I think they said sometime around 11 a.m. or something like that, Central Time. And so anyways, so they took some information, which is, whether or not you have a restriction on your license, like if you have a automatic or manual, automatic only restriction. And I said I had either, and they asked if I had a preference, and I said either one was fine. And then there was, I think there was another question, which I don't remember. And then the third one was whether or not, you were a smoker or a non-smoker. And I said that I'm a non-smoker. However, I'm a former smoker, and a lot of my family smokes. So it's I wouldn't have a problem if I prefer non-smoker, but if I got to be paired with a smoker, it's not an issue to me. And they said, okay, great. So with that kind of stuff, since I was basically open to everything, they said it shouldn't be a problem getting me a trainer. So Wednesday rolled around, and I didn't hear anything. So on Wednesday was when I was actually driving up into Pennsylvania. So I contacted, it was, getting into the afternoon, and I contacted my recruiter, and I spoke with him. And what ended up happening is, because I applied so early and was going through all this, I guess there's DOT regulations that the application has to be within 30 days. And they also sent me some info that I had to sign off on the background checks and all that. And I think that may have been Monday, but it may have also been Wednesday. I don't remember. It was one of those days. And so I had to go through Driver Pulse and sign off on, letting them run all my background check information and my MVR and all of that. And so I did all of that. And then they got back with me. And what ended up happening was, since I applied so early in the process, most people aren't doing that. I guess it's DOT regulations that the application information must be within 30 days. And we were at 32 days or something like that. So they had to reprocess the application. And because of that, it was going to take an additional day. And they were really short on trainers. So they said they'd get back with me the following day. And they did, and they were able to get another trainer. They were able to talk to another trainer to get them to come back, because they had already booked everyone else, because I was, I was first on the list, because I was the first one. I called, first thing Monday morning. But then since they're, because of this delay, all of the other, people got paired with the trainers, and I was in limbo, but they got another trainer to go ahead and agree to come back to the terminal and pick me up next week. So we're still on. Because I needed to know, because if I wasn't going, I needed to fly back to Florida. So they were letting me know. And again, they've just been outstanding with communication and everything. I know this little thing probably could have been, foreseen, so it could have been avoided, but it's not like it was that big of a deal. I was fine if I had to go back to Florida. It wasn't really a big deal. So anyways, they got all that handled, and they let me know that they would get me my flight information either that day or the next. And they checked to make sure I was cool with flying down there, that it wasn't an issue. And I said, yeah, I'm guessing, I certainly wanted to fly. I'm guessing a lot of people may have hang-ups on flying or something like that. But I certainly wanted to fly, and so that was cool. So I let them know where I was currently at, what area of Pennsylvania, and the zip code and all that. And I let them know that the Harrisburg airport is within an hour of me. All of the other airports are a couple hours away. And so they're like, yeah, that's cool. We'll get you flown out of there. Well, the next day, this was Friday morning, I get my flight information, and it's going out of Altoona Airport, which is like 2.5 hours from where I'm located. And I was like, all right, whatever, not a big deal. It was a 6 a.m. flight. So, not like it's an issue, but it's 2.5 hours away. Obviously, I got to get there early to go through TSA rigmarole, the security theater where they pretend like they're doing something. And they're just feeling up your junk. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So I go to find a hotel, and there aren't any. This is like this really rural airport. There aren't even any hotels nearby, and the closest one's like 15 miles away. So I call them, and I can't find a hotel that has shuttle service to the airport. And I'm like, all right. So I check with the airport. They don't have any sort of rental cars or anything like that. And I go and I check with the hotels. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be flying out of the airport. Is there like a taxi service or a car service? And they're like, no, all those went out of business. I'm like, well, how do people get to the airport? And they're like, I guess you can try an Uber. So I've never used Uber before or anything. I mean, I've driven Uber Eats, but I've never used it as a consumer. And so I go to I create an account, which I guess it just used my driver account and all that. And you can like book. You can try and book fares in advance. And I go in there to try and book, and it keeps telling me that they can't book anything in the area. So I'm like, what in the hell? And then on top of all of this, right at that exact time, now this is up in the mountains, and they're getting and tomorrow, this is going to be a concern for me tomorrow as well. They were getting like a huge ice storm is going to be coming through. And so there's another reason why I wanted to get there early. So anyways, I'm just like, I can't, I've exhausted all my options. I spent about an hour and a half on all this, calling all the different people and stuff. And finally, I'm just like, man, this is just not going to work. So I call, and it was unfortunate because there was like a ton of connections and everything. I don't know what's going on with this, but anyways, I call my recruiter back and kind of explain the situation. I'm like, hey man, I'm not trying to be a bother, but here's the deal. And he was actually super cool. He's like, dude, thanks for calling me and letting me know about this. Just outside of how much of a hassle it would have been for you, if any of this stuff would have happened, it would have been, and the ice storm causes you to miss the flight and all that stuff, or you can't get transportation, it would have been an even bigger hassle for us. So he's like, I'm not sure why they didn't even get you out of Harrisburg to begin with. So let me go work on that. So like 20 minutes later, I get a call back, and it's my recruiter, and they're like, hey, I got a choice of a couple different flights for you. Let me know which one works. So I ended up going with, it was like a morning one and an afternoon one. I ended up taking the afternoon one because I figured by then everything with the ice storm would be warmed up, and the roads would be handled and everything. So now this was like Friday morning, so we're still a few days out from that. So anyways, so that was all booked. They got that all right out to me, and it comes with the receipts and everything. You could see, it's like, and I even told him, I was like, man, I was like, if it's like a cost thing, I'll gladly pay whatever extra it is, but like this is just not going to work out here. And he's like, no, dude, it's not about that at all. It'll certainly be taken care of. Thanks for letting us know. So they were like really, really cool and apologetic about it. And, I'm assuming it's just probably just, first of all, I'm located in a rural area and it's tough to find anything anyways. So it probably looked like it may have been close or something. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but anyways, it was like $10 difference to get this other way more convenient flight. But anyways, as we got closer, today's Saturday now, and it's Saturday evening, and the forecast was just very clear that all morning tomorrow, even with my, by the time I would have had to leave to drive down, to have my family drive me down here to the airport, it still wouldn't have been cleared up. So I just came down here to stay outside of the airport, and they have a shuttle here, and I picked a hotel that's right at the airport. So, and it's nice because this is going to give me a nice little break before I fly out here and do all of this, rather than having all the stuff going on with my family and, just not getting any rest time. So anyways, I was just blown away with how cool they were about getting everything worked out. And then working through, the minor things. Like, so I would recommend, if you're going to be applying, just wait until it's within 30 days. Like everything that I saw, everyone's like, oh, as soon as you get into truck school, start applying right away so you can get everything guaranteed. But you might as well just wait until, you're within like your last week or two, because it's not like it takes a lot of time to do any, do any of the talking to the recruiters or anything like that. And the paperwork doesn't take a lot of time. So, but yeah, everything's all set up, all ready to go. They got me all my hotel information, so when I land in Oklahoma City, they have a shuttle that'll come pick me up at the airport, and then the following morning, they take us down to the terminal, and we start doing our orientation. So I'm really excited about that. I'm not really like nervous or anything, but this does kind of remind me a little bit of like when I was going to boot camp. So, it'd just be an interesting experience. Obviously, this isn't going to be anywhere near like that, but it just kind of has that same kind of feeling. Obviously with way less nervousness or anxiety or fear or anything. Like I said, it's just feels a little different. But anyways, should be cool. I'll have, after each of the days of orientation, I'm going to do a video of like a wrap up of everything that we did. So tomorrow I'm getting in somewhere around like 9 o'clock, I think, Oklahoma time. So I'll be, assuming there aren't any delays. So I'll be, as soon as that happens, I'm just going to get into my hotel and go to sleep. So I won't be doing any videos that night, but then the next couple nights I'll do those, and then I don't know how often I'll be able to do them on training, but I'm certainly going to try and do them as much as, as often as I can. Try to keep everything updated, at least in the beginning, as everything's all new to me, and then as things progress, it'll probably just start becoming more of a vlog type ordeal, just covering the areas that I want to and all that kind of stuff, and what I'm doing, what I'm learning, all that. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll have some more coming out here, but so far Freymiller has been absolutely excellent. Great. I have no complaints so far. I'm waiting for something, and I can't see a red flag, so I don't know. We'll see. People have been reaching out to me on YouTube, on other forums and stuff that I'm on. Everyone seems to love the company, and so hopefully that ends up being the case. But looking forward to it, and thanks for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the flip side.